So this video is for people that are more so new to the job market. If you're someone that's been interested about becoming a field service engineer, or let's say you're looking for a new company, not that I am, let's say you're a veteran that has the skill sets that are needed to be a field service engineer, this video is going to be for you. Welcome back to Untitled Label, where we strive for greatness through optimization. With the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the video. I'm John, I'm a field service engineer, and on this channel, I strive to share my life on and off the clock with you. The topics that I'm going to talk about in this video primarily focus on 3 questions. Those questions are, what do I want next as far as your career path? What is the next step for you? Once you answer that question or can answer that question, the next thing is going to be, what do you want to learn next? Lastly, you have to take into account what's the state of your current company and the technology that they have to offer. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't yet, as it definitely helps the channel grow and get this content out there for others to learn from. By the way, in case you see me looking down occasionally, I do have notes on the phone. I stressed in my last video, use your phone for notes. It's one thing I advocate. So I might be looking down, don't mind me. It's just a lot of things to cover in this video. First question is going to be, what do you want next? So what is the next step in life, whether it's your career, you just got out of the military, for example, using myself. I had recently gotten out of the military. I knew at a certain point I wanted to get out once it came close to that separation date. So knowing that, I took everything into account. That means being able to sustain myself and being able to have a good career that's going to have a good long-term trajectory, as well as hopefully still take into account the skills that I've learned from the Navy, so it's not a blank slate. My main concern was I didn't want to lose the progress that I have made through the Navy. So I spent the last 6.5 years or so doing something, and for me to completely start new, I didn't want that. Obviously, other people want to do something completely different, which is fine. But for me, I still kind of enjoyed being a tech. I still enjoyed the camaraderie as well as some of the leadership stuff. I learned a lot from that, but in a sense, the work environment does play a role into it as well. So at the end of the spiel, think deep, think long, and think about what you want next. It's also important to say that if you enjoy the people that you work with, you have a good camaraderie with them, you're going to enjoy and put your best foot forward. That's something to take into account because you're all growing together. At least that's the whole premise of it. Another thing is, which a lot of people don't usually think about, is think long term. Where do you want to be at 1 year from where you're at, 5 years from where you're at, 10 years from where you're at? Think those things through, and I'm sure that's going to help shape your decision, as you want to see progression in a way, in a sense. So think those things through and actually kind of set benchmarks for yourself. That way it keeps you accountable. Don't think about things necessarily from a day-to-day aspect when you're thinking about goals, but think about some long-term goals that you can set for yourself. This is important because it helps you know what steps to take to get to that goal. When it comes to being a field service engineer, this may include skill sets that are going to be necessary to step up to that next level. However, keep in mind with learning, there's always failures. The important thing is to get lessons out of those failures, and at least next time you learn something new, you can tackle it a different way and not repeat those mistakes. The next thing to take into account is, who do you want to learn from? Look at the people that are doing what you want to do. Ask them questions, learn from them, and take in all the information that they can provide for you. A lot of times these can be valuable lessons that you don't have to repeat for yourself. It's kind of a shortcut in a way to get to where they're at. A lot of times those people have been in your shoes, they've been where you're at, so they know all the little mistakes that are going to be made, and they're just trying to help you avoid those things as well. It's equally as important to talk to your teammates, as they're going to see different aspects of the job that you may not see on a daily basis. Lastly, not even necessarily related to being a field service engineer, but have a mentor, or at least someone that you can bounce off ideas. I myself don't really have a mentor, so I need to take this into account. However, I do have good friends that have good judgment that I can bounce ideas off of. The last question you're going to want to ask yourself as a field service engineer is going to be, what's the state of the company and the technology? You have to ask yourself, do you understand the company's vision, and are you trying to learn more about it? If a company's fairly young, you can have a big impact on that vision. To counter that though, big companies are going to have defined roles which ensure job security. You're also going to want to take into account what products these companies offer based on the amount of people that they have. So are they just a one-person company that offers, let's say, 5 products, or is it a team of 100 that provides maybe 1,000 products? A lot of these variables you have to take into account to find the right fit for you. You should also take into account, are they growing, how fast they're growing, and are new products being introduced? And of course, as a field service engineer, do those new products impact you for the job? At the end of the day, these are all good things to consider when being in the job market, looking for new jobs, or even if you're considering maybe switching positions or going to a different company. I think these are very helpful tips that may help anyone, including those that may be veterans as well. And at the end of the day, talent is key. Companies want to hire people that have the drive, have the motivation, and just that are eager to learn, and they're willing to hire those people. So remember that as you're the talent. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, make sure you do so. If you found any of this information useful at all to you, smashing that thumbs up button also helps more people see this video as well. With that said, I'll catch you on the next one.